I am absolutely blown away by this game, and I'm like, I cannot stress enough how incredible this is. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to our first video on the demo for Broken Arrow, coming sometime hopefully soon in 2023. Just finished up playing a little bit of this demo that features a mission and also the arsenal available for both Russia and the United States. You can take a look at most of the things, but not all the things in this game that it will offer in the future. There's a lot of vehicles and infantry and a lot of things to look at, but it's not yet complete. But what I've seen so far blows my mind. It's crazy. If you're a big fan of Wargame or Warno or any of the Eugen Systems games from before, including Steel Division, or like me, a big fan of Wargame, or rather World in Conflict, which was kind of like an earlier version of Wargame. This game channels what I love about regiments and my recent World in Conflict playthrough, and also Wargame, Red Dragon, Airland Battle, and European Escalation. This is an incredible pie of all sorts of different ingredients, and so far it's worked out really well. The graphics are fantastic. The designs of the cities are wonderful, or at least the one that they showcased so many times before is in the demo, and it's really promising. There's a few things that are weird, like voice acting for the cutscenes, but all the units have their own voice acting for each and every one of the vehicles, and also the troops. As you zoom in real close to a vehicle, or like, for example, a squad of, let's just say, Marine Force Recon, when you're playing the game, as you get close to the troops, there's actual chatter of what's going on in the mission, or at least it sounds like it, and it's really amazing. I love how the supply system works, and I just can't wait to show you guys how it all works. So today we're going to take our first look on a full completion of the demo mission that's available now for free for possibly a limited time. It might last forever. A lot of people always ask, is the demo forever? Honestly, I'm not sure. Steam has, as you see on the left side, its next event currently running from February 6th to like the 13th or something. But this could go on forever because maybe the game will come out and they'll leave the demo up. Maybe not. I don't know. But just make sure that you, after checking out this video, make sure you download it, because there's a hell of a lot of things to learn and a hell of a lot of things to do in just a very simple demo. All right, no more blabbing. Let's get into our first look at the demo mission and kick some ass. Let's go.
Gentlemen, we have just received the green light for the landing operation on Baltic Peninsula. The Russian Baltic fleet is currently resupplying in the harbor of Kaliningrad and will soon be ready to take the sea. Taking control of this peninsula would trap them in the lagoon, rendering them basically non-operational in the region. Our troops are ready to storm the beach, but according to our latest satellite data, a mobile coastal artillery battery is defending the harbor. These guns must be silenced before we can launch the main assault, or this will turn into Omaha Beach 2.0. The guns have been spotted here. This is a battery of Barrick 152mm howitzers. They can detect and engage fast-moving targets above the water. That includes ships and helicopters. Local intel reports that a battery of surface-to-air missiles is present on the south bank of the lagoon, but the precise position of each launcher is unknown, as they're relocated every day. That makes a missile or airstrike way too hazardous. Our best option is to send in a light force to eliminate the anti-air and artillery batteries by surprise and open the way for the main landing. They don't expect that kind of attack, so the ground forces in the area are limited. Commander, you will be in charge of the first wave while I organize the main landing. Prepare your troops, but remember, it's a one-time opportunity, so it's make or break. Make it happen, Commander. Good luck.
All right, let the games begin. Here we go.
My ships cannot approach as long as the coastal battery located in this fort is operational. The anti-air missiles are located on the other side of the canal. A Russian missile battery generally consists of 6 vehicles. 2 of them have been located on the beach, but the others must be hiding in the nearby city. The reconnaissance group has made contact with the enemy and reports the presence of a tank company defending the area. I hope you brought some dedicated anti-tank units with you. If not, use smoke and buildings to your advantage.
All right, here we go. Fantastic. All right, let's slow down speed immediately to about 0.5 to where we can take a more detailed look at things going on here in this game. Wow, this is absolutely stellar. I've got to say immediately by looking at the maps, as I've always said, they really remind me of Wargame and also World in Conflict simultaneously. It's really, really cool at how beautiful these maps are and how small things are. The very close combat here, even though we're very far away. There's a T-72B across from these two groups of Marines that have taken up position in these buildings, and the buildings can hold up to 32 men. All the different size buildings can hold multiple squads, and the same with some of the vehicles. For example, the AAVP down here can actually hold 2 squads of Marines and even like another squad of SMA, which are anti-tank units. Wow, and look at that. There's actually like little detail to the grass and stuff blowing in the wind, and there's even exhaust coming out of the vehicles as they're sitting idle. You can actually see like the heat waves and stuff kind of coming off. That's crazy. I didn't even notice that detail when I played the last time. All right, well, these vehicles also have special abilities such as smoke. Our Marines have the ability to sprint, and so there's kind of some special abilities that you can use as if they were the infantry from World in Conflict. So let's go ahead and get our troops in position, and we'll go ahead and get closer to these buildings. We're going to kind of keep them hidden, though, because the Russians have tanks out there that can reach us from that distance, so we don't want to get too close. So we'll try to sneak around. And we're going to play real slow, just so I can explain a lot of things going on. Love the voice acting, love the lines for all the vehicles. You know, the LAVM has a different voice line than the AAVP, which has different voice lines than the Marines, which, you know, the Marine Force Recon in the buildings have different voice lines than the Marines who are inside those troop transports. Now, one thing we could do immediately is call out, like, for example, Dragon anti-tank guns, which can basically, an ATGM, that can fire a missile over to that tank that's on patrol. That's going to be one of our side missions. And then we can use, like, MTVRs or a Super Stallion or an Osprey to call those troops in or to transport them into battle or around the battlefield. We'll start with the MTVRs right now, and we'll call both of those in, and they'll come in from down here. Now, additionally, in the future of the mission, we'll receive reinforcements from here, which will be Air Force or aircraft and helicopters. All right, so now we've got reinforcements on the way. So those vehicles will come in right now. We should be able to set up those Dragons inside the buildings. We should be able to get, I think, 2 of them. I think I double-clicked on those. We should have those deployed shortly. All right, let's get the Marines out of the vehicles. Now, in this case, we have to tell the AAVPs where to deploy. We're going to tell them where to deploy. And the Marines are going to get out on foot and start engaging those BRDMs. So the Russians are looking for us now. They've got some troop positions inside the buildings. They've also got these recon vehicles and tanks on patrol. So pretty much everything north of here is enemy territory. So we have a nice large area for ATGM. So we're going to take advantage of that as soon as we can. We're going to try to deploy the Marines to the left flank to fight through these buildings too. We're going to try to sneak behind them. We're going to go up the street and see if we can run across and occupy those buildings on the left side. Meanwhile, we're going to deploy these transports. Actually, that's interesting. One transport is carrying 2 troops. That's really cool. So we can have separate vehicles come out if we want to, or multiple, or one, you know, 2 in 1 or 2 transports for each. That way we can have more vehicle support. All right, let's go ahead and get the Dragons in there. All right, so the Marines will take up position, and with the Marine Force Recon, they'll be able to fire upon the transports or the recon or tanks that are patrolling this area here. There's kind of like a city block this way, but just look at how detailed these maps are. We're not even going to see this area for a little while, but just beautiful amounts of detail to the seaports and staging areas, storage areas, fuel storage, ore storage, container docks everywhere. Really cool. And they've done a great job of adding a lot of detail to this. Now, remember, this is a preview version, and I'm playing on kind of high graphics, not so high because it's not optimized as much yet, but the enemy, as you can see, is firing artillery pieces from these 3 positions at the Star Fort, and you can kind of see the smoke rolling as the artillery is firing like that. Really great. Just incredible looking detail to the environments, both urban and beautiful forests, too. So just really, really cool. All these large housing apartment buildings here made of concrete, all that is just really, really cool. I'm just in awe. I love it. All right, let's go ahead and get our troops up there. We're going to get the Marines across. We can tell our Marines to sprint, so we're going to immediately take these buildings here.
Get your gear, we're moving out. U.S. Marines,
We're going to have them use their sprint ability. Now remember, we're playing in half speed, so their animations will be what it should be when they're at 1, which is this. And they're hauling ass, because remember, they're sprinting, so they're using their special ability. But actually, we're at 0.25 speed. We're at a quarter speed right now. And then we'll probably play a little bit in half, so I can explain a little bit more. But this is really just incredible at the amount of vehicles that we have already, and that this is just a small-scale battle. This is probably what you would have if you were playing World in Conflict, but this is... I'm already excited to get things going. All right, well, we can't call in helicopters or aircraft because, as the mission briefing told us, the Russians have some sort of anti-aircraft around, so we need to push further and further north to this canal to find all their anti-aircraft positions. So there's probably one here and one's inside these kind of courtyard areas between the large buildings, so we'll continue to engage those. We can bring in supply. I love how the supply system works in this game. Essentially what we can do is we can call in supply, and we can also call in troops at the same time. So we can call in additional Marines, and we can call in additional supply for them at the same time. In other words, we can pack a bunch of Marines and a bunch of ammunition inside of a vehicle, have the Marines jump out of that vehicle and go on whatever mission they're on, and then the supplies can stay behind, and that way if the Marines take losses, or if they need more ammunition, or if a vehicle gets damaged, they can come back to that supply. Oh, here we go. It's popping off, boys. A Dragon ATGM launching out of the apartment building and going right for a tank that's firing back at us. Wow, right through the window there. But hold on. Oh, this is going to be glorious. Oh, direct hit. Oh, that crew is going to be panicked now. More vehicles are coming in. More recon are coming in. That tank is now thinking twice about engaging us. Fantastic. The Marines, unfortunately, taking a little bit of a loss there. We can actually see some of them possibly wounded. Or maybe not. They're just panicked. They're firing off another missile. They are not killed at all or wounded. Here goes another missile, though. And we're now going to start another space program for them. Look at it go. Look at it go. Oh, beautiful. Excellent destruction. All right, another BRDM is around, so we're going to continue to...
Enemy tank down.
Excellent. We're going to continue to engage their recon as they zip around like that. So we're going to set up a kind of an AT kill zone here. And now I'm going to call in some anti-tank to the right flank, too. So let's call up the Sama. And these are going to come up with the MTVRs. We're going to call up those, both of those in there. And another ATGM being launched by the Marines again. They're going to need to resupply ASAP. Look at this missile, by the way. There are missile trails for things like the Stingers, but these missiles yet don't have those. But man, look at the detail even just on the missile like that. I hope we can actually see that. If we can get close enough to see it. Hard to see, but I mean, even missiles are detailed in this. All right, that's going to be a goodbye on that BRDM. Hopefully the range. That vehicle's hauling ass. Through the trees. Wow, look at him go. He can't escape that. You can't escape freedom, buddy. Not going to happen. Oh, he did. All right, the ATGM met its maximum range there. So a vehicle can be engaged at about this distance and can be tracked for about double the distance of the engagement. That's crazy. All right, we want to call in some supply now for those troops. Let's call in about... Oh, we have insufficient supply at the moment, or insufficient points. So we need to kill more enemy vehicles. Oh, boy. And here comes that enemy artillery from the Star Fort. We're going to be dealing with that the whole time. So let's go ahead and call the vehicle back to base. Logistics can fall back and pick up some more stuff. And we want our amphibious vehicles to be here. We're going to use them later, but let's go ahead and deploy the SMA that we have. Looks like an ATGM has been fired again. Artillery incoming. Wow, that would have been cool if it exploded the missile. That would have been quite the timing. And goodbye to this. Wow. Ping. All right, more BRDMs will be zipping around. We're going to be continuously deploying troops. Let's get more vehicles and units deployed. Let's get some more Marines up on the line. All right, so essentially what we're going to do is hold the center with ATGMs and Marine Force Recon. We're eventually going to start moving left with that Marine Force Recon and the Marines that we've called in and are deploying now. The SMA are going to secure the right side, which is kind of a small suburban neighborhood, and we're going to continue to go house to house and leapfrog all the way up to about here. Our main line right now is to push everything and destroy everything here, destroy any sort of anti-aircraft that we spot, and then continue to chip away at the enemy tanks. They could have about maybe 6 to 8 enemy tanks, so we need to keep an eye on that. All right, looks like some things are retreating good. LAVs we're going to try to keep alive. Those LAVs are good against infantry and light vehicles, but aren't going to do so well against these tanks now. And we want to use them to eventually cross this canal here. We're going to be very limited on the resources we have to cross. But we could use helicopters to ferry them across. Additionally, we could bring up supply and arm up everybody on the beach and then pick up that supply. We could bring it in with a truck. We could pick up the supply with a helicopter and then bring it across too, so that way the supply can kind of stay in the rear of the troops, but like stay with the troops at the same time, since we can't necessarily directly resupply from a vehicle. So it has to be deployed. So we're creating FOBs in this game, essentially. Wow, that gets me excited every time I say it. You wouldn't believe it. All right, let's go ahead and try to call in a Super Stallion now, just to see how that looks. Oh, I guess we can. All right, well, let's call in the small without a transport. That's totally fine. And we'll call in a Stinger as well with a Humvee, which could be useful in the future. The Russians may have a helicopter come out to attack us, so let's call them in as well. All right, so we're getting more units deployed, but we have to prove our battle effectiveness here and continue to engage enemy units as they come across. Let's go ahead and check out that Dragon. They've got what looks to be 2 shots left. 1 shot now. Dragon ATGM firing again. BRDM-2M is going to probably be trying to flee ASAP. That's the one that escaped us before. But not this time, pal. Wow, dude. Never gets old. Freedom delivery system. Delivery complete. Damn. Love to see it. Oh, another ATGM going out. Looks like the TM on the right fired as well just before the vehicle was destroyed. Okay, now it's double destroyed. Good job, Marines. Just make sure it's died to death. Well, let's go ahead and move our forces to the right. So one thing that could change a little bit is, yeah, it looks like switching between buildings is immediate, which is kind of a bad thing because if, for example, the enemy is going to artillery us and we move, you know, if this were competitive multiplayer, you just scoot over to the next building. But again, this is just kind of a demo and really just a showcase of what's to come, and there's a lot more polish to be had as well. All right, now we've got our troops coming in. This is fine. The Marines can walk. They're going to go up to this intersection here and cut right into these houses. We're going to just kind of keep with them.
Marines, copy. We take that building.
As we push up, we're going to keep the Marines
get in that building.
moving
Set up a base of
as best
fire.
we can.
Where's
Let's keep
Ready for combat.
Marines here in the middle. We're going to have Marine Force Recon go left. So we're going to go ahead and close in on these houses here. We're going to have them stay all together. And so we're going to have 3 squads of Marines and also a Marine Force Recon on that far left side. Now, the enemy can also attack from this beach. Vehicles will be easily able to drive down there. So let's speed up time just a little bit more now. I'm going to go to 0.5. Just because I'm at a little disadvantage of my reactions by trying to explain and zoom in on stuff. But I think mostly you'll be playing this game at about this zoom, but it's really cool to zoom in and see that action. And I know you guys want to see it. I'm trying to bring it to you. So, hey, there's our first target. All right, there is an anti-aircraft unit. And it needs to die to death. Now, the cool thing about artillery is that when we call in a barrage, we can actually choose the fire mission to be either high explosive, smoke, or cluster. We can also increase or decrease the duration, and we can also change the firing mode, so something like a direct fire or like a creeping barrage, for example. Ooh, boy. Marines taking a direct hit on that building there. We have the loss of our first Marines with artillery. But our mortar just landed next to their anti-aircraft unit, and we'll continue to hit that. Make sure we keep shooting, firing away at that. Keep pushing in, boys. All right, we need supply up here ASAP right now. I'm going to go ahead and call in 7,000 kilograms of supply. I'm going to probably call it in here so the Marines have reinforcements and ammunition. Looks like we've taken a loss here as well. Going to try to keep losses to a minimum, but it is a war. That's going to happen.
Couch on it. Let's get away. Mortar ready to engage,
I don't think they can zero in on artillery. Theirs is just completely random. So we can keep firing our mortar all day. Per day. Alright, so this supply, the LSVR is going to bring in essentially a massive container. And this container is full of just tons of supply for them. And we can tell them to reinforce, rearm, or repair from that. Or we can tell them not to. So if you want to set up 2 FOBs, one for repairs and one for reinforcements, like one for infantry and one for repair of vehicles, you can do that. Where they can do whatever they need to. All right, let's go ahead and unload right about here. I'm going to drop off probably right there at that tennis court. Whatever it was. And let's get the Marines into some buildings here. All right, let's continue to get into the woods. And there's another vehicle there. We got to engage that. Looks like we were firing on... Is that same one? It may have been. I can't necessarily tell. But keep firing. Those mortars are quite useful, actually. And they can also provide smoke cover, as I mentioned. And so it's a great way to keep track of enemy vehicles and then smoke them. And then basically close in on them. So it's a great tactic to kind of outmaneuver them. All right, anti-armor, fall back a little bit. I want these Marines here in this building. All right, these guys have taken a loss, and they need ammunition. Oh, boy. Artillery will be non-stop, so for us to wait for it to be over, that ain't going to happen. Oh, boy. Well, let's have our Stinger go out to the far right flank. Enemy has helicopters on patrol. Have the Marines come back this way. Oh boy, yeah, anytime you get to try to move something, immediate artillery explosion.
Force recon here.
Let's get force recon inside that building.
Back to home 20. Troop transport, standing by.
Keep our troop transports hidden.
We're on the move.
Tanks can try to snipe these, so it is entirely possible to try to snipe a vehicle or something in between these buildings. Although it's a little harder for them to snipe infantry. They're more than capable of firing at our LAVs if they close in. All right, let's keep sneaking up the left flank.
Check that building. Marines at your command, sir. Establish a base of fire in that building.
Ooh, artillery dropping.
I want a base of fire in that building. Check that building. Marines force recon at your command. Mortar ready to fire. Good copy.
All right, fire that mortar again. We should be able to destroy that with maybe 2 more hits.
Weapons team ready.
Ma's doing its job by rearming. So yeah, now we've dropped this container here. We can actually pick this up. We can bring the truck back and pick it up and bring it back to base, or we can move it around. We can add to it. We can take away. I don't think we can split, though. I would like to be able to bring in, like, supply via helicopter and then be able to split it to trucks. So that way we can maybe resupply closer to the troops, especially if we had several defense sectors. All right, we should see one more artillery round. Coming real close to that. One more should destroy that, and that tank is looking juicy. A perfect target for our forces to hit.
Swift, silent, anybody home?
Knock, knock. Beautiful. This almost plays out like Arma RTS in many ways. I can't believe how many games this feels like at the same time, just based on this one mission. And I really hope my hype and excitement are answered with
That missile launcher is gone.
Oh, beautiful. Target destroyed. But yeah, I hope all my hopes and prayers and all that are answered by this game. We didn't get a second world in conflict, but damn it, this is close. And I couldn't be more happy. A happy camper. Anyway, maybe not for long. Alright, get in that building, boys. Okay, let's go ahead and call up some more. We could do artillery, but that's 120 points each. We could call up more Marines. That's 60. I think I'm going to call them in on foot first. We do not a vehicle? We can call in 2 Marines on foot without a vehicle. We call in a third. We can call in 3 Marines on foot. Excellent. Well, let's get them up here. Yeah, we don't really need a vehicle at the moment since we're moving house to house.
Get your gear, we're moving out. Base of fire in that building.
We're going to try to go on the right flank now.
Stinger team here. Squad, move out.
All right, we're going to want a Marine squad to go right flank to support those SMA. And we want 2 Marines to go left flank. Cool. They get a little wordy, but it really reminds me of Company of Heroes when you hear all that chatter. And some of the lines are actually directly taken from World in Conflict. And, oh boy, we got... Hold on, we got BTRs coming in from the left flank.
Order available, sir. Roger. Call for fire.
Hold on, we got some trouble.
Force recon in combat. Take that building.
Fall back, boys. Got somebody lost here. BTRs coming up. They just lost a squad inside of one of their vehicles. Wow, and the Marines just wiped out another vehicle. Looks like there are some survivors there. Forward on them. Could have a mortar round coming in there. So infantry, some survivors from that vehicle are firing back. Oh, damn. But not for long. A mortar round directly on them. Jeez. One guy left in that street. Wow. 2 vehicles and 2 squads just wiped out on the left flank. Incredible. Get up there, boys.
Get your asses in that building. Rock up, we're moving.
All right, let's keep moving up. All right, not too bad. Move the LAV again just to make sure it's safe. All right, and the Marines are arriving. The reinforcements arriving now to the center flank. Oh, we got some more trouble. Hold on, boys.
Marines in combat, requesting orders. Marines in combat, awaiting command.
Get that Marine Force recon up there again.
Stack up, prepare for entry.
They're firing into the trees now, too. Nowhere is safe from this artillery. It's constantly pounding everywhere. I really don't think there's anywhere we could be safe. It's just firing randomly. Close to our units, where our units were, where our units are moving. It's everywhere.
US Marines, ready for duty. Marines at your command, sir. Marines at your orders, sir.
All right, we're good here on this intersection. Tanks are still crawling around. The Marines into some safe places here. Now we're going to start pushing up on this right flank and clear out stuff around here. Closing in on them. These buildings have an incredible amount of health, too. It takes several direct hits from artillery to even really damage them. So they're almost like fortresses. So infantry is way more impactful than they were in any other game previously. Infantry is soft, tanks are hard. But here, the hard structures really give them a hard point to give the enemy a hard time. Hard to argue with that. Really hardcore. All right, well, we've got another tank to destroy, so let's push up. And see if we can get within range of those tanks now. We're going speed 1, so this is the intended speed. I'm going to try to get the Marines dragging over here into this building to engage a little closer, just a little closer. And there is a second launcher there. I was correct, so we should be taking out 2 of those in just a moment.
Force recon standing by. Hoorah!
All right, you boys make sure you swing in here. So you can even see the Marine Force Recon have snipers, ATs, port weaponry, all good stuff.
Force recon here. Marines Force recon at your command. Marines Force recon here.
Our Marines get in there. Trying to have them swing through a supply area as often as possible just to top off.
We take that building.
Ooh.
Marines standing by.
All right, they're certainly firing on that left flank a little bit more than I'd like. All right, just move from building to building now in this neighborhood. Could you imagine? This game also has a mission editor to it, and it'll also have, like, well, possibly mods, but if somebody recreates the missions from Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare 2, like the older ones, like the invasion of the suburbs and whatnot, I mean, that would be just absolutely amazing. If, with all the mods and the ability to make maps and to customize your own vehicles. Of course, you can customize a massive amount of things on every vehicle and transport, including sometimes engine types for aircraft. You can customize what weapons they come in with. So, for example, most aircraft share their ability to fire like AIM-9 Sidewinders or their ability to drop bombs, but the differences of the aircraft are diverse, but then they could also be somewhat similar with upgrades. You could, of course, get like a F-14 to be almost as capable as like an F-18, depending on what you're trying to do with the right customization and setup, if you're limited on vehicles that way. Depending on what you're trying to do, you can get stuff to match the mission, and that's awesome. Wow, That's not awesome, though. Damn.
Get in. Check your corner.
Artillery right
US
there.
Marine, ready for combat.
Marines going from building to building. Let's slow it down a little bit here so we have a time to react
Need some
to
heavy firepower?
any movement from the enemy.
Swift, silent, deadly.
We got 26 Marines there. That's 2 squads.
Force recon ready. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Boy, there's the tank there on the left.
US Marines, ready for duty.
All right, the Marines are getting ready to ambush that tank as it pushes up. Looks like there could be 2 of them. Oh, they're firing over here, too.
I love big guns.
Mean.
More gun here. Marching keeps us fit. Let's take that building.
All right, boys. Use your sprint ability quickly.
Double dogs here. Get in that building.
All right, 26 Marines could engage this T-72B1. They might not see us because they don't have recon nearby.
Hoorah!
Ooh, enemy helicopter was just spotted on the left. It just
No
flew
time to lose.
just by the
All
canal there.
ass. Get your asses in that building.
I'm going to try to see if we can
Establish a
fire
base
on
of
that tank
fire
from
in that
here.
building.
Get the dragon into that position. 2 open in the middle, so we got to hold.
Weapons team at your command, sir. Heavy weapons here. U.S. Marine. Hoorah!
Everybody push up on the right flank.
Welcome to the missile age, choppers.
All right, bring that anti-aircraft up. 2 tanks spotted, 1 moving left, 1 moving right. And there's
Marines standing by.
bringing up those Marines very aggressively now. All right, we're going to hold on the right flank. The enemy does have a T-72 there.
Weapons team at your orders.
Oh, well, look who decided to come
Fire
back.
team at your command, sir.
That was an unwise decision. Very poor decision indeed. And pads should be ready
Need a
to fire.
helicopter down. We're engaging.
There they go, 2 missiles away. Oh, they should be able to track, though, infrared. There it goes. Not too bad. Very cool. Enemy helicopter eliminated. One less thing to worry about.
Humvee awaiting command.
All right, well, these guys,
Already there.
we'll go ahead and bring them back to these
Pedal to the
buildings.
metal.
And we'll keep them a little bit more safe.
Mortar ready.
All right, Marines are pushing.
Good copy. Fire coordinates received.
Keep firing at that thing. Are you within range? Let's get a little closer.
Proceeding to next base of fire. Departing.
We will not use our LAV vehicles here until we've got those tanks destroyed. Oh, and that tank's coming over to investigate. I'm going to try to get the mortar closer so we have a
Personal carrier here.
better chance to hit that S-350, the anti-aircraft weapon that's keeping our helicopters back. Lots and lots of missiles on that bad boy.
Mortar available, sir. Solid copy. Fire mission received.
Let's see if we can hit them from there, and then we'll move forward. The artillery seems to have chilled out for the moment, but you know the enemy's going to come back soon with more.
Once a Marine, always a Marine.
All right, let's have the Marines push up again.
Check that building. I love big guns. Need some heavy firepower? Hoorah!
Have those units move forward. I'm confident we're down to just the last few tanks here.
Marines, we have a building to secure.
Now we're moving up building to building. We'll speed up a little bit. Enemy artillery still coming in. Wow, just amazing. And this is just the first mission. We can also get paratroopers that can literally be para-dropped outside of a building. Like, for example, you can call in a paradrop outside of a building. You can give them this area. The paradrop actually comes in where you can see it and or possibly shoot it down. So an aircraft will come in, and you can go ahead and make the landing zone there and turn it into a fortress for additional forces to come in. It's pretty amazing.
Take that building. Weapons team here.
Let's go ahead and have these other Marines push up.
Weapons team in combat. Send your orders. Marines at your orders.
All right, 13 Marines are going to close in on that. Wow.
Heavy weapons ready. Marines at
That
your
squad almost got
command, sir.
killed. They did a good job of avoiding death. Good job, Marines.
Ready to fire. Artillery moving out.
Now we still might be out of range. Let's go ahead and deploy this Humvee. Taking a few losses there. Keep engaging that vehicle.
Heavy weapons here.
Tanks coming back.
Copy. We get in that building. Set up a base of fire. We're moving here. We're in combat.
Infantry inside that building's down to 2. Uh-oh. Enemy BTR-80s have been spotted. Hold on a second. We need support vehicles out right away. Let's get those mortars up. Enemy BTR-80s packed with troops. Come on, can we actually take cover in the debris?
Establish a base of fire in that building. In that building. Roger. Moving to next waypoint.
Oh, wow.
Weapons team in combat. Away to command that building. Marines in combat. Away to command.
Oh, no. Small unit hit by HE. Crazy. Unfortunate. Cool to show the power of a tank, though, like that, and its ability to wipe out squads, unfortunately for these guys. Trying to move to better cover to engage tanks and BTRs. Exactly why we called in those mortars now. We're going to go ahead and designate these as 2 and 3.
Mortar ready to engage, sir. Mortar available, sir.
And we're going to go ahead and call in
Call for fire received.
artillery on these positions.
Roger. Call for fire received. Order ready. Send mission. Fire coordinates received.
We can fire off a few shells. All right, that small team has a chance for revenge.
Marines in combat. What are your orders?
Beautiful. And a damn fine shot indeed.
Get covered. Move to that Marines building. Here. We are engaged. Don't
Have
stay
these guys
here.
fall
Get
back.
in that building.
Everybody stay back now.
Who wants a skylight for his house?
Who wants a skylight for his house?
Artillery on the move. Mortar ready, sir.
Move those LAVs up.
Mortar ready. Send mission. On the move.
It looks like we cleared out the infantry on the left flank. Resistance doesn't mean that we're stopping.
Swift, silent, deadly. U.S. Marine, hoorah!
OPTR spotted. Good hit.
Marines engaged in combat.
Marines getting ready to fire again.
Marines here, we are engaged. Take that building.
Our Marines push.
Marines in combat.
And a vehicle destroyed.
Facing. Fucking move.
All right, fall back. We're going to try to save that unit and reinforce it.
Marines taking fire.
And then the Marines here should be able to fire on that tank if it pushes, and the infantry to protect the small.
That missile launcher is gone. Good.
Under fire.
All right, we're going to have a little bit of a fight here.
Hoorah! Get your asses in that building.
Enemy tank is right in the middle there.
Marines, that's your order, sir. Marines, check that building. Copy. We take that
Get these
building.
Marines up here. We're going to have these squads secure this main road, and that Dragon's going to come in and fire on that tank. Wow, man.
Marines, that's your command.
Luckily, the artillery seems to be mostly for show.
Order at your command, sir.
Make sure we hit these units here.
Solid copy. Fire mission received. Order ready to fire.
And it's going to be impossible to destroy the vehicles, or rather the infantry inside the buildings with our vehicles, the LAVs.
Fire. Moving.
Let's just keep moving.
On the double squad.
These grenade launchers might be useful, but again, we can't really use these until the tank's out of the way.
Moving out.
We'll bring them a little closer.
Now. Roger. Moving out. Stinger team.
Our Stinger team in the building.
Force recon.
Force Recon's down to 50%. Let's go ahead and fall back.
Marines, establish a base of fire in that building. Anti-tank team standing by.
Dragon team is moving in.
Get in that building.
That missile launcher is gone. Good.
U.S. Marines.
All right, let's set up more Marines. That's why we've got them here.
Order available, sir.
Looks like an enemy counterattack with multiple BTRs. We need to fall back.
Move in that building! Marines in combat! Secure that building! Get in that building! Set up a base of fire! Marines taking fire!
Fall back, boys.
What are your orders? Keep pushing! Move your asses now!
Fight the fight.
Marines taking fire!
Reinforced recon destroyed, I believe.
Marines at your order!
Possibly random artillery.
Marines here! We are engaged! Marines engaged in combat! Double dogs here! Order ready!
Not easy.
Roger! Fire mission received! Reconnaissance, ready for action. Order ready to engage, sir. Who wants a sky
Okay, let's have our mortars fire upon those BTRs.
received? Get your head out of your foot! Point of contact! Get in that building!
Alright, we gotta fall way back with these guys.
To this building! Marines in combat! Awaiting command! Move your asses! Move in there! Marines in combat! Send your order! Get the fuck up! Move!
Alright, we gotta fall way back now. Lots of pressure there, but a launcher destroyed and luring out the enemy's BTR 80 attacks and revealing some of their positions, which 21 Marines should be able to eliminate all on the road there. Marines had a hell of a time there.
Squad, move out! Stinger team at your command, we have a building to secure!
Very nice.
Double time!
All right, our mortars are firing on these positions, and that should kill any sort of infantry that may bail out.
Anti-tank team engaged in combat!
All right, what else do we have for more Marines? We have another Marine squad we can call in. Another SMAW we can call in. Go ahead and have them come up here. We can get another group of Marines in a small transport.
Ain't nothing gonna get in our way!
We certainly need them.
Marines in combat! Whatever order here! We're engaged! Sitting ducks! Get in there!
Make sure all of our units are falling back.
Here we're moving out! AT specialists in combat!
They're panicked, so they're crawling across the road.
Marines standing by! Who needs support?
Make sure we continue to fire on these units. This is our current roadblock. It looks like they slightly counterattacked while we also hit a main defensive line. So there were several defensive positions and BTRs at the same time looking to counterattack or at least on patrol. That's the worst of it so far.
Anti-tank here! We are engaged! Take that building! Move your fucking asses!
Let's go ahead and get through that building. Fall back. We need to get that Dragon Squad out of there. It's a rough one, boys.
Marines under fire! Cargo truck ready.
All right, MTVR will come up all the way to the right.
On the road again. Welcome to the missile age. Check that building.
Make sure we're protected against aircraft. Unlikely that we'll encounter any of that, but here comes the missiles. Or rather, the artillery. Like cruise missiles. Oh, yeah. That was a direct hit. That was like a damn cruise missile. That was sweet. Excellent. So the BTR threat has been dealt with now.
Order ready. Send mission.
All right, good. All right, everybody stop.
Driver, halt. We set up here. Need some heavy firepower.
Whew, good job. All right, let's get those SMAW back. We're going to hold here. That tank's been almost destroyed. Heavily damaged tank is fleeing in the back. Going back to that Marine squad on the right flank.
Fly truck ready to transport.
Drop those
Dumping cargo.
troops off right there. And now we can bring the LAVs up, since I think we only have one tank left and we need some support. We can keep an eye on that tank before it eventually dies. Good job, Marines.
team at your orders. Get in that building!
Hey, check out this rooster cruiser they gave me. The hammer lane!
You like big guns too?
Beautiful. All right, there goes the shot. Tank destroyed. Good job, Marines. Good revenge for what they did to those boys.
The entire tank platoon has been destroyed. Good job.
All right, entire tank platoon destroyed, which means we have right of way now with using those LAVs. They could still be hit or destroyed.
Get your asses in that building!
Cargo truck ready.
All right, let's see. Yeah, they could be hit or destroyed by artillery.
Anti-armor here! We're in combat! Move the fuck up!
Who wants a skylight for his house?
Hurry it up, boys. All right, one enemy soldier there. And we should have that squad coming up.
U.S. Marine! Ready for combat!
Oh, looks like I called them out without the transport. We must have been 4 out of 4 on those transports. I think we have 4. But regardless, not too far to go in order to get to the rally point
Shut
here.
up and let's go!
We're going to push further. All right, well, we have access to more Marine Force recon. We certainly need to bring up our other squad. We still have AT here and the Marine Force recon, so let's go ahead and push up with them now.
We take that building.
We'll keep the dragons in the back, since we don't have tanks to deal with anymore.
Ready for regroup and move up.
Order available, sir. Order ready to engage, sir.
All right, let's set up our
Artillery moving out.
units here, maybe.
Reporting. Lab ready for combat.
LAVs can
Combat
come up.
patrol underway.
And everyone can calm down a little bit. All right, let's speed up time. Wow, lots already done. Multiple tanks destroyed, multiple BTRs destroyed, and likely the enemy could counterattack again. So let's get our
Armored transport. Roger.
AAVs up here. There should be 4 of these then.
Someone call for a cab?
Looks like only 3.
Copy. Relocating.
Well, regardless, we'll call in a 3rd one when the time is right. Be able to cross the river.
Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Or the canal. Dutch breathing intensifies.
Recon vehicle. Send traffic. There. Over. Good copy. Next waypoint received. We're going back to the depot.
Very nice.
Hoorah! I want a base of fire.
No, let's not sneak out of here just yet. LAV. .25mm. Engaging that unit.
Troop transport reporting in. Armored transport reporting in. Here.
All right, and the LAV is ready to go. Another launcher down. Fantastic.
Missile launcher taken out.
AT specialist here. Go ahead. Establish a base of fire in that building.
Artillery revenge for every
Marines, stand
inch of
by.
ground we make or
Marines,
take.
at your orders, sir. On ass, we're moving. U.S. Marine. Hoorah! Rock up, we're moving.
All right, Marines, you can fall back.
Ready for dudes, we're moving.
Pretty nice. All vehicle assets will be dealt with there.
Landing assistance
No
team.
problem.
What can I do for you? Asses, MAGA, take a leg. Heavy weapons ready. Find
let's
some
push up
cover.
again.
Get in that building. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Here.
All right, Marines did a
Marines
fantastic
here. We are
job.
engaged. Marines in combat. What are your orders? Marines engaged in combat.
Oh,
Marines taking fire.
looks like we got more fun.
Marine, get in that building. U.S. Marine, hoorah!
Enemy infantry out in the open.
Order ready, sir. Order ready. Send order. Ready to
We'll
fire.
lead it. Here comes the fight again.
Marines at your command, sir. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
This vehicle has seats for 6, so we can't bring a full squad.
U.S. Marine, ready for combat. Move out.
Already there. Pedal to the metal.
Marines, look alive. Marines at your orders, sir. Get you here. We're moving out.
Wow, would you look at that? Now, in this mission, later on, we'll be able to call out cruise missiles. We'll be able to call out a naval landing around here as well. So what we've seen is just the beginning of
A platoon of
first
naval
mission.
infantry has been spotted crossing the canal. Prepare for a counteroffensive.
Here they come. All right, so now they're bringing a counterattack in on us. Unfortunate for them.
Force recon standing by.
Ooh, AT missile launched on that recon. Looks like it can go through the trees slightly. And the enemy losing their recon now. On that left flank. Beautiful timing.
Get in. Check your core. Let's take that building.
Good job, boys. All right, push up and take that building.
Double dogs here.
Mortar ready, sir. Troop transport ready. Copy. Relocate. Lab here. Lab ready for action.
Marines force recon. At your command. Entering building.
All right, let's make sure we keep our recon going.
U.S. Marine. All ass. Marines at your command, sir. We have a building to secure.
Looks like they're trying to attack at the right flank.
We take that building.
Who needs support? Good copy. Fire coordinates received. Fire received. Roger.
All right, enemy Marines out in the middle. Coming in from the church with a BTR-80 for support. Damn. Marines not putting up with that.
Check that building. Home sweet home.
Armored transport standing by. Moving a new fighting position.
I don't know if I trust those auto cannons. Oop, let's back up with the LAVs.
Back pedal. Driver, reverse. Lab in combat. Awaiting orders.
All right, reverse there.
Move back. Mortar at your command, sir. Call for fire received. Solid copy. Fire received.
All right, they're pinned down. Finish them off with mortars. Oh, they're walking into it. Beautiful.
Vehicle status ready. Situation time. Someone call for a cab.
Looks like artillery bursted here too. One of our amphibious transports down. We'll have plenty more, boys. Additionally, it's thought that this is probably going to be a mission that is not the first mission of the campaign, but will probably be something coming up a little bit later. So, for example, this could be mission 3 or 4, and some other prior knowledge and previous skills and other things could be a part of it that remain to be seen. Now let's get the Marines back into that building then.
Someone after a ride. Solid copy.
Enemy's being rude, they don't want us to take it. Let's go ahead and pop smoke.
Popping smoke. Personal carrier ready. Driver backwards. Reverse.
Well, then we're gonna have to use helicopters to get across there. Nice. It's a shame they weren't able to fire at that before.
Armored transport.
But these grenade launchers were able to chew up a lot of that infantry.
Contact. Who wants a skylight for his house?
Double dogs here. Pushing forward. Marines in combat.
All right, let's keep pushing forward.
Troop transport reporting in. Roger. We're Oscar Mike.
Force recon ready.
All right, let's get Oscar Grouch. Let's go.
I got my
All right, the supplies all out. Or are they loaded up? Nope, they're all out.
Pedal to metal.
Marines used up all that supply.
Roger. We're on the move. Mortar ready to engage, sir. Mortar available, sir. Good copy. Fire. Mortar ready. Fire. Fire mission received.
Wow. 2 squads of Marines in the vehicle trying to pin them down. Crazy. I wanted to test out and see how effective those grenade launchers would be against them. They are pretty effective, but it seems like infantry versus infantry, you'd better not support them with a vehicle unless it's got an insane range.
Once a Marine, always a Marine.
But regardless,
Establish a
the Marines
base
can
of
swim and the
fire
Marines can
in
fly.
that building. Set up a base of fire. U.S. Marine, get your asses in that building.
We got
Marines
this.
Here, we're in combat. Marines in combat, requesting orders.
We good. All right, let's call out more supply. We're probably going to want to call out 20,000 now. Max out our supply. And we'll get everybody resupplied for the big push.
Moving the next waypoint.
Put hard on the pedal. Check that building. Weapons team standing by.
Very nice.
Anti-aircraft specialist. Heavy weapons team under fire. We have a building to secure.
Lab at your command, sir. Roger. Moving to next waypoint. Lab here. Go ahead. Reconnaissance. Standing by.
Okay.
99, mission accomplished.
Recon vehicle. Ready.
Let's go ahead and get our supply up here, probably.
Roger. Moving out.
Stinger team ready. Regroup and move up.
Recon vehicle. Standing by. Moving there now.
Well, it looks like everything else has been taken out. So the Marines came across for a counterattack.
U.S. Marine, hoorah!
And pretty much got destroyed on the other side of these buildings. I guess the key here to really defend it well is going to be to try to take this road before they counterattack, but you'll have to be
U.S. Marine, hoorah!
doing it immediately. Constant push.
Humvee awaiting orders. Moving
We have
out.
some more supply here. We'll go back and grab that. It's only 1,500. It's not that much.
We're the AA team. I want a base of fire in that building. Check that building. Anti-armor here. Get in that building. Get in that base of fire. Look alive.
All right, I think we're clear here to
Lab awaiting orders.
basically
Fire and maneuver.
patrol for remaining enemy forces.
AT specialists at your disposal. Establish a base of fire in that building.
Reconnaissance is good to go. Search and destroy.
All right. And that should clear that out.
U.S. Marines ready for duty. U.S. Marines ready for
Damn.
combat.
So good to see. Well, let's speed up time. We can now breathe a little bit.
Hoorah!
Cool. All right, there should be a vehicle up here. There could also be a BTR, maybe a recon of some sort,
Vehicle ready for action.
maybe an infantry squad. Ah, we have 2 launchers remaining.
Who needs support? Fire mission
Oh
ready.
boy, yep, speaking of launchers.
Lab standing by.
Ho ho!
Mortar at your command.
Have a Conquerors
Order
there.
available, sir. Copy. Call for fire received. Solid copy. Fire mission received.
Almost like it's a war. Beautiful.
Anti-aircraft.
Missile launcher taken out.
Command, sir. Solid copy.
All right, let's take out that vehicle.
Lab ready. Copy that. Looking for target.
Make sure we engage that Conquerors.
One more hit and our vehicle's done.
Ah, shame. It's got too fast of a fire rating for the LAV.
Marines at your
So the LAV fire rate for its main gun seems a little slow, and so the LAV's not as effective as I was hoping for like a one-on-one engagement. Kind of doing some tests here as I engage vehicles too. We have to kind of figure out how things work differently in this game from all the other ones we played before. Lessons learned in World in Conflict and Men of War and in
Marines standing by. Lock it
War Game Red Dragon might not necessarily apply here. Like, for example, artillery is pretty, but not really doing much against our forces unless they've got direct fire. So, like, artillery here coming in, but kind of worthless. Although they may have destroyed a vehicle or two or maybe an infantry squad with it, but it's just because it's been constant saturation for, like, the last hour.
Once a Marine,
So, obviously, we're
always
going
a
to take some
Marine.
losses there after all that time. All right, Marines, you got to get up there.
Here.
Do you not have an AT? Yeah, there we go.
Open fire!
There we go, boys. Nicely done.
That was the last missile launcher. Air assets are now available. You can call in helicopters from the reinforcement panel. Now cross the canal, destroy the guns, and take control of that fort.
All right.
Once it's done, establish a defensive perimeter. Enemy paratroopers are mobilizing as we speak.
Enemy infantry is at the Star Fort. Oh boy. There's infantry, there's enemy artillery, and there's also a lot of forces back here too. So they've got this position, and they'll counterattack as soon as we take it too. Gonna be fun.